Tracy says, Tracy McElfresh, Dayton, Ohio. I am working on alterations today. I primarily right now do alterations, and I also make memory gifts like memory pillows out of loved ones' things. The word tips and the word tutorials are two separate things. Tips are for people that already have a grasp on sewing, and tutorials are where people show you how to go through and do every little thing. So my tips in and around a minute are just that, tips, not tutorials. But today I am working on removing horsehair trim from a formal gown, and it's gonna take me quite a few hours. First you have to rip it off, and I find my tip is a razor blade is the easiest to rip it off. Now, a lot of people are scared of these, but in the industry, people use razor blades a lot. I've seen it argued in some of the sewing groups. And then there's also Made for Sewing by Ofla, a little clicky razor blade that comes off. Both of these are great. You just have to be very careful. If you're underage, you need to consult your mother. But I'm go around and I basically take and just tap along, and I'm tapping along the plastic horsehair trim, and I just pull. And now this is gonna take me a long time because it's sewn on two sides. And it's a lot easier just to go in the next time and sew it all back together. That's not gonna take very long. I bet it takes me an hour and a half to rip this off and then 30 minutes to sew it back on, and it's done. So make sure, tip number 2 is make sure that you charge enough. I know a lot of people that charge anywhere from $100 to remove the horsehair trim to $150. Now you can buy horsehair trim and not remove it if you're taking off that substantial amount. But a lot of times they're in a color and you want to keep it in that dye lot in that color and keep the aesthetic of that dress. So you'll want to reuse what came many times. Now, if it's just white and black, that's easily accessible. But the stars have to align. I've rarely had it where I could just cut the horsehair trim off and put new on. I most of the time have to actually pull this all off and then put it back on. So those are my tips for the day. Difference and recap, difference and tips and tutorials. Those are two separate things. And using a razor blade to quickly get everything pulled off of the dress is much easier than a seam ripper. You just have to be careful and make sure you charge the proper amount when you're doing something that takes a lot of ripping. So, Tracy McElfresh, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.